One assumed word. I'm fairly certain Francesca is trying to tell me about diarrhea. Our language barrier is the problem. The duck we both ate earlier in the day at lunch, where we met, the impetus for the diarrhea she is trying to confess, or the diarrhea she is trying to accuse me of having. I'm just not sure. But now, a full 12 hours later, sometime near 2 a.m., we're on the prowl for food again, having fled a friend's after party due to rumors of kebab appealing to our late night marijuana high. Only to fail. The snow-kissed streets of Turin, Italy, empty of vendors, with us carrying that defeat back to the sixth floor flat, flight after flight of steps, with Francesca holding her stomach, saying something about the duck, and making a joke that is just not landing. She pulls me aside, now isolated from the four-person pack, looking for the right word. Diarrhea, I want to say to her. You're trying to say diarrhea. I'm confident she wants me to kiss, to get to know me. It's the way she stared straight at me all night during my performance, reading stories in English that she'd later confess to not understanding, but appreciating the passion behind. Yes, I'm sure she wants me, making me then wonder, why are we discussing diarrhea? I came to Europe with a ragtag crew of entertainers on a DIY house show tour, several goals in mind: to see the world, to share my art, to meet someone. Because to feel known and wanted by another human, to appeal to their greater senses as an object with worth that is deserving of time and attention was all I really wanted as an artist. To feel interesting in another's presence and to have that interest manifest as a burning in our loins that can't be controlled. Hands touching places that we do not let hands touch. Mouths not for speaking, no language barriers, but for communicating a deeper urgency in our animal instincts. To lose our bodies in a place we have traveled so far to be found. It's difficult not to daydream of sex when abroad. Francesca becomes my proof, a young woman who sat next to me during the middle of my meal with friends, the restaurant small and harboring no qualms of putting strangers at the same table. The handsome man Francesca is with sits across from us. I am despondent in the moment, feeling isolated from my own group, more of a spectator to their conversation than a part of it. So I am drawing like a child on my placemat. A human heart with a leafless winter tree growing up and through it, branches as if veins, trunk, and aorta. Francesca, she takes notice, making small talk, and I am so attracted to her spiraling mane of black hair that I can't help but imagine my fingers running through it. Had she known I was using doodling to hide my sulking, she would have dismissed me, but I am quick to ask her to draw with me as well. A map, I suggest, of Italy and where she comes from. Sardinia, she tells me, an island. You'd love it there. And I want to kiss her, but instead invite her to our show that evening. And that's when my Italian friend Piero, he steps in as a proper wingman and divulges the directions to his house in their native tongue. She says she'll come as a promise, all of us then finishing our mozzarella, raw hamburger, and gnocchi with duck, oily and unctuous. Hours later, my crew is getting drinks just before the show, me and the boys plus a few others from the Camino de Santiago. And I've had just enough to be a true idiot, confessing that I want Francesca at the show, boyfriend or not, and that if he does come, I say in jest, I hope he's into cuckolding. This becomes problematic for the Italians, not because of the word's connotation, but again, translation issues. I spend the rest of my beer explaining, the best I can, what it means. One woman, newly met, she looks horrified. Francesca is the first to arrive at the show. No boyfriend in tow. In fact, she was on her first date that afternoon and confesses there will not be another. Therefore, somehow, this beautiful Italian woman only has eyes for me, the drunk, false poet from lunch, cartooning like a kid with a belly full of duck. I perform well, Francesca stares, and I relish in the attention. So now, alone in the stairwell after leaving the after party, an awkward frame photo of Nicki Minaj overlooking us. Francesca has since abandoned the recesses of her memory and is using Google to translate. She and I, mere inches from touching. I can no longer tell when it's an appropriate time to kiss a girl. So I just watch that phone load, concerned for the outcome. Diarrhea, I'm sure of it. But her face enlightens and she has solved the conundrum. Digestion, she exclaims to me. Digesting that duck is making it so hard to get up all these stairs. And she's laughing, moving in closer, but we've lingered too long, and I'm certain now is not the right time to kiss a girl, having navigated that thin space of a missed connection, one assumed word having built the barrier. I look at her, confused for more reasons than just bowel movements. We head back into the flat, into the throng of drunk Italians dancing erratically to American music that we as Americans have never heard. We dissipate in the crowd, and all night long, through a cloud of pot and body odor, I see Francesca staring, smiling. I smile back, trying to translate my own muddled instincts. This feels like love, yet I know that's not the right word for it. And I've lost her again to the crowd, the moment of possibility having passed. The two of us just hungry strangers drawn to a placemat heart. The two of us like snow just outside the landscape window, still falling on the empty streets of Turin, Italy, and melting before we could ever dream of taking hold.